Join me for 10 minutes of stretch and mobility. Let's go. Begin in a seated, comfortable position. Start taking some deep belly breaths. Inhale through the nose, open up, expand the rib cage, and then exhale through your mouth, let all the air out. And then repeat again. Inhale through the nose, deep diaphragmatic breath, exhale through the mouth. Take as many breaths as you need to bring the heart rate down and relax. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, reach those arms up to the ceiling or sky, and then reach over to one side, stretching out that lower back. Take some breaths, and then when you're ready, center this up and reach the other direction. Hold and breathe. Let's do that sequence one more time. Reach over and hold to the first side, and then when you're ready, center up and reach the other way. Once that side is complete, center up, release the fingers and interlace them behind you. Open up that chest and heart and hold. Deep breath, inhale through the nose, and then exhale it all out through the mouth. Let's stretch out those sides. Leaning over to one side, place the hand, and then if you like, the forearm down and reach the other arm overhead, and then slow windmill, repeat the other side. Let's do that again. Inhale, center, exhale, reach over to that first side, and then let's go the other way. When you're ready, let's go into a tabletop position, hands and knees. We're going to do some hip cars. Float one knee just above the ground and then trace a big circle going towards the wrist, up to the shoulder, and then back 4 or 5 times, and then you'll reverse. Once you've completed the circles both ways, flex the foot and extend the leg. Cross that toe over to the other side. Gaze forward, look over your other shoulder, and then hold that stretch, trying to see your toe over that shoulder. From that position, we're going to transition to an eagle child's pose. Take that knee, cross it behind, and sink back for child's pose. Breathe and hold. Feel free to play around with this angle and walk the hands over to one side, shifting the hips the opposite direction. And then when you're ready, try it on the other side. Breathe and hold. Once that's complete, uncross the legs and sink back into a traditional child's pose. Okay, let's do the other side. I'm going to flip around so you can see my working leg. Back to the hip cars, floating that knee up towards the wrist, shoulder, and back. 4 or 5 circles in one direction, and then repeating the other way. Once you've completed the circles, extend that leg, cross it over that base leg, look over the shoulder, and then hold that stretch. When you're ready, tuck that knee behind the other one and go into your child's pose eagle. Feel a little bit difference in that stretch. Hold center, and then you can play around with the sides, walking the hands over to one side, hold for a few moments, and then repeat the other way. When you're ready, gently uncross the legs and sink back into your traditional child's pose. Deep breath, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's go back into tabletop position and do some cat-cows. We're going to exhale, push the ground away, round that back, wiggle out those hips if you need to, and then gently flatten out, gaze forward, and repeat again. What I love about cat-cows is you can play around with the movement, maybe adding trunk circles, shifting the hips side to side, or sticking with the traditional pose. Whatever feels good to you today. Inhaling up, let's do thread the needle. We're gonna open up that top arm, look at the hand, and then exhale, thread that arm underneath. Repeat again, open up, and then exhale, thread. If you prefer not to do this mobility movement, go ahead and just hold that thread the needle pose with the arm looped underneath, drop the head, and breathe and hold. Once you've completed a few of these, go ahead and hold that last thread the needle with the arm underneath, dropping the head, and breathe. Take a moment to shake it out, sink back for your child's pose, and then let's repeat on the other side. If you're opening up the arm, let's go ahead and reach up, thread underneath, drop the head and shoulders, and then repeat again as many times as you did the first side. When you're ready, after that last one, hold that arm through, drop the head and shoulder, and breathe and hold. When you're ready, sink back for a child's pose and hold for a couple breaths, and then we're going to change your position. Let's take a seat with one leg out and one leg in and stretch our hamstrings. Once you're here, walk those hands out as far as feels comfortable for the stretch, and then drop the head and sink into it. You should feel this all through the back of your leg. Let's go ahead and move this position a little bit and walk those fingertips in the center, walk it back out, and if you can, get those elbows or forearms down and hold the stretch. Now the stretch is going to shift more towards our inner thighs and hips. From here, we're doing one of my favorite stretches, and it's called a fire log. Stack your feet and knees over each other, and then once you're comfortable, walk the hands out. If you can, get the forearms down and hold this stretch. If this move is too difficult, feel free to do a butterfly instead, where the feet are together and knees are out to the side. Continue this pretzel-looking stretch. Let's go ahead and keep that same top leg, cross it over, take your opposite elbow to the outside of the knee, reach the other arm behind you, and look over that shoulder for that seated twist. From there, let's counter that twist and reach the other way, looking over the other shoulder. When you're ready, unravel yourself and let's do the same thing on the other side. Take that hurdler stretch as low as you can, and if you need to, keep a soft bend in the knee. Breathe and hold the stretch for the hamstring. If you'd like to hit the inner thighs a little bit more, walk those fingertips to the center, bring it down, and hold. Let's do that fire log. Take the leg that was extended and stack it over the other leg, and then when you're ready, walk it out, hands or forearms, and hold that stretch. Time for that pretzel stretch. Keep the same leg on top and cross it over, and then give me that seated twist, looking over that opposite shoulder. When you're ready, let's go ahead and counter that twist and look over the other way. Let's finish with the butterfly. Center this up and bring those feet together and knees flared out. Let's do trunk circles. We're going to drop down, tracing a big circle with your upper body over to one side 4 or 5 times, and then when you're ready, you'll pause on top and repeat the same number going the other way. I absolutely love this stretch for the lower back and the inner thighs. It just feels so good. It's a feeling that I find. Let's go ahead and finish the same way that we started, sitting in a comfortable position, interlace those fingers behind, open up the chest and heart. Give me a deep breath, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and then release, interlace in front, round the upper back, reach up to the ceiling or sky, and let it all go. You're all done. Thank you so much for joining me. Great job on completing that workout. If you haven't done it yet, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss a single video. If you have any suggestions for future workouts or any ideas health or fitness related, please feel free to leave me a comment in this video. Also, follow me on Instagram at Allyfitatl for more daily workouts. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.